A cool thing happens when you rub quartz together. And it does work with some other rocks too. Whenever I carve quartz, it's like a little fireworks show. So my plan is to come up with some way to show off this rock superpower without electricity. Aside from all the electricity I'll be using to make it. This isn't normally like me, but my first stop is a rock shop to look for a rock that can't be found in nature. I'd love to know if this fused quartz stuff will work as well as natural quartz. I didn't know if it would shatter like glass or something. But this first test couldn't have gone better. So the plan is to first carve both stones into a bulb shape, cut them in half, and concoct a device that can spin one half while the other half is held in place. It's believed that the Ute Native Americans from central Colorado, which happens to be my state, were the first to intentionally utilize the phenomenon of making light with rocks. They made ceremonial rattles out of animal skins filled with quartz crystals that when shaken at night would produce flashes of light. I gave that a couple attempts, and the results were kind of unimpressive, but I have no doubt that their version is better. So centuries later, I'd like to tip my hat to the Ute people by making the best human-powered rock light I can with whatever I've got in my garage. This is essentially just a clamp being spun by a bicycle crank. I'm attaching some sections of pipe which fit that clamp to each bulb using epoxy. Some final refining of the shape. I'm not aiming for perfect. I think some amount of wobble will help mimic the rubbing motion that seems to work just fine. This is the first real test. At this point, I could not be more excited about this crazy thing. But we need to know what the best we can do looks like. So first I'm polishing the bulbs from that original 30 grit up to 500. I have to say this. I normally don't polish like this. It was a random experiment that just made it a lot harder. But of course, I had to see what would happen if I rubbed the bulbs together at high speed. It does work, but the risk of having a huge chunk of them break off was terrifying. Now knowing that more polishing doesn't reduce the effectiveness, which seems entirely plausible, let's go all the way up to 6,000 grit. It should be almost a mirror finish. This particular part turned out to be my biggest challenge. Its job is to keep the top bulb from spinning, but also to keep constant pressure on the bottom bulb, and to allow for some amount of wobble without the two halves getting jammed up. This is my second to last version of maybe 10. But let's cut to the good part. There are only 3 combinations to try. So let's see which one looks best in different lighting. Practically speaking, this can't be done continuously. It doesn't take long for a layer of dust to cover the surface, which dramatically reduces the effect. Drop a comment if you think I should wash my hands. Or if you'd like to see a better version of this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching this. Please subscribe and have a really good day.